With all these apples, I'm also making applesauce. And I'm doing it the way my Amish neighbor taught me, which is like the easiest way in the world. Except I am going to go ahead and core them for the most part. Like this one here is not terrible. I won't go too much overboard with it. Remove any of the bruises. Put it in the pan. The pan has just a smidge bit of water in it. Just keep it from sticking while it softens. So anyhow, put them in this here pan, get them start cooking up and softening. And now these apples are super sweet and good. So with that, we are going to do a no sugar applesauce. Plus the fact I got 2 diabetics in my house. So with that, I'm just going to cut them up. You can see the water, well, maybe, in there. Yep, there you go. There's the water. That's just all the water I put in it. Let's get ready to start cooking them down. I mean, I can make them smaller, but I ain't, because it's extra work that I ain't going to do. So, I'm going to cook these down, and we'll take her from there. Right, so you can hear it boiling here a little bit. Trying to soften up the apples, but they're still pretty, well, that one's kind of soft. Still pretty crunchy. Might be too many in this little pan. Anyhow, just let them go till they get soft enough that I can run them through the food strainer that I use when I do tomatoes and all that. This will just spit everything right out in perfect applesauce form and keep all the stuff we don't want out of it too. So, very, very easy way of making the applesauce. I'm taking the apples out. Normally you could just dump this right into the strainer, and I mean it keeps your water there. It just waters your applesauce down a little. But I'm just going to keep reusing this water to heat the apples because it's already hot. And I don't want that water in my applesauce off the rip. So I'm just trying to kind of strain the water off these apples before I go dump them through. Let me get them out of here and we'll go get that done. Okay, I got my softened apples here. I'm going to dump them in this here top strainer part. Ooh. Maybe. There we go. And then I just start spinning it, chucking up my apples. Okay, so anyhow, here we go. Let's see. Ow. I keep punching it into the chair. Hold on. Okay, let's see if we can't get any applesauce going here. Maybe. Okay, so anyhow, see here. Now it's all working. I got pulp coming out over here. I do run that a second time just so I can be sure I get as much as I can out of it. And that's fine. Put it in that pan there. And then that'll go out to scraps, compost. You know, I could put it in apple cider or apple scrap vinegar. But yeah, so anyhow. There you have it. Apple sauce. Go from this into the jars, into the canner. But not until I get a big old batch of it going. So I'm going to be a while. But that's it until I put it in the canner for y'all to see. Okay, so the applesauce has been run through the food strainer thing here. And you can see it looks really good and not all, you know, peeled and cores and all that stuff in it. So it goes from this directly into the jars. My daughter has approved. She said it's delicious, Mom. And she ate a bowl already. Ooh, shoopy. Staggum bees, I'm telling you what. They approved too. So let's get these in the jars. Okay, so I got the applesauce here. You can see it looks very beautiful and applesaucey. Nothing's added to it. This is just the color where I used a couple different kinds of apples and where I left the skins on. So, it is really good though. Say that much. Fill it just the same as I did the apple butter, which is right next to. And this is a water bath for 5 minutes. So I'm going to get these jars filled. And this is just one little small me doing while I'm doing other stuff kind of deal. It's not, you know, like I hardcore apple sauced it. But I do got these dinky little hot jars. Hold on. these dinky little 4-ounce jars that I'll put applesauce in, because these will be canned and then they're perfect for lunches. Kids, husband, whoever. It's just perfect. Grab, throw in your bucket, and go about your day. So with that, we're going to do a 1/2 inch headspace on the jars. Let me get this non-hot one here. Okay, so as I've shown before, if you've seen any of my videos, you follow this here rim down, goes all the way down. You get about halfway. That's about a 1/4 inch. Get to the end of it here. That's your 1/2 inch, and then here's about your inch. So between inch and 1/2 inch headspace is where we're going to be at with it. So that's what I'm filling up at into hot jars. Okay, next thing you do, wipe your rims with a damp cloth. If it's a sticky mess, maybe use a wet cloth. You can use vinegar if you want. Don't use soap. You don't want that in your food. Anyhow, wipe your rims real good. These aren't overly hot. They haven't been in there as long as some of these big ones here. Anyhow, you got to wipe them so that there ain't no debris, no food or nothing like that on the tops. That way you get a good seal. And then you're good to go from there. Put these flats on them. Regular mouth flat or lid on a regular mouth jar. Finger tight. Just right. Okay. Now mind you, if it's hot, you got to hang on to something. They're not terribly hot at this point. But I have the canner off too. The water's warm but not scorching. So anyhow, get everything canned up here and we'll get it over into the canner. Okay, I'm putting the jars into the canner. Normally I have this here rack up, but honestly, the water is very hot and I'm not reaching there and touching it because it's hot. So I'm just setting them down into it. You need to put them on something in the canner so that they don't rattle around and shatter. So just put them on anything, whether it be the rack that comes with it, a dish rag, cannon rings, whatever. Just have them setting on something. In this case, it's the rack that's already down in here. So let's get these all in here and covered up here. Okay, as you can see, the jars are underwater here. Water's over top of them. So I'm going to put the lid on it. Once it starts boiling, it's a 5-minute water bath boil. And that's it. So 5 minutes, once it's boiling, like I said, it's already hot, so we just got to wait for it to get to boil. 5 minutes, we'll take it off. So 5 minutes is up. Time to get the jars out. Like I do always, reach down, pick it up, dump off any water that's on it with the jar lifter like so. Definitely do not use your hands or try with tongs because it's just hard.
I would eat all of
Okay,
this.
so got them all out of the canner, got them lined up on towels. Towels will help to absorb any shock. In case there's something down here because a hot glass will hit something, it will shatter, and that's like super duper sad and wasting. So we don't do that. Towels down. I mean, just do what you prefer, but I put towels down. Anyhow, these are kind of generic lids. So you can see they're all kind of buckling. So that's discouraging. They should still seal. Anyhow, space in between them all. That way I have adequate room for airflow so they can cool, so that you'll start hearing them ping and stuff like that. Clearly this is the apple butter versus the applesauce. But there it is, looking all beautiful and delicious.